Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing a Felid Fire Elementalist of Fetas. In the last episode, we cleared out Shoals 3 and Spider 1. And we're going to keep going through Spider now. I just want to quickly review what I have available to me. Wand pasting is the main thing that sticks out, of course. Don't forget to use that. I have a bunch of other ones, but they're all basically junk because I haven't trained them. Digging and Disintegration are useful. But mostly junk. 1 Scroll of Blinking, 1 Scroll of Fear, 4 Teleport, which is okay. I would rather have more, but, can't have everything. Spell-wise, Bolt of Fire, I should say, is getting there. I think it's still perfectly fine to use, although maybe, a little bit dangerous. Hunger, still high, but still not a huge deal. Our piety is on the way up. Okay. There's a little bit jumpy in terms of like when I first started to record this episode. Well, actually, I've had more false starts on this episode than like any episode I can remember ever. I think this is the 4th time I'm starting to record it. Mostly because of let's see. I had a couple sound issues where I had not configured things right for recording. Weren't really crawl related. And then my keyboard macros were all messed up. Wow, nice shot, Bolt of Fire. It was I don't know, recently, I'm not sure if it was related, but recently I re-macroed. I realized that there were some cases where I could accidentally, using my mouse, send movement commands to crawl, which, as you can imagine, would be a disaster. So I made that not be the case. Is there a... Anyway, I made that be the case, but then oh, I've seen this staircase too? Yikes. But then when I started this episode, pressing the arrow keys... Oh, so the way I fixed it was to assign a macro to the arrow keys. It's do nothing. So if I accidentally hit an arrow key, it just says, what? I don't know what you're talking about. But then at the start of this episode, the keyboard was acting completely nuts. It was doing just crazy things whenever I... it was just awful. Every arrow key was sending really weird characters. So I had some sort of debugging of that to figure out. And it... Okay, don't kill me though, please. That would be great if you could not do that. Ugh, I thought I could... That was reckless stinginess there. You know what? We're just going to haste up to make sure I can get away from this guy. I was trying to save MP for no real good reason, since that... And I ended up paying the price by losing a mushroom. Oh, God, these spiders, man, they hit you once and let's fireball him a couple times. That ought to finish him. Yes. Okay, so it's starting to look like maybe Spider is not the place to go. Let's try, I guess, the 3rd staircase, just to be sure. Emperor Scorpion, okay. You know what? Since we miscast, let's go upstairs and rest. Since he was still asleep after all. Emperor Scorpion, I think, is a great enemy for us to run into because he is not fast. He is just normal monster speed, which means we can outrun him indefinitely. And eventually, the Sticky Flame will take him out. It'll take a while, but we'll get him. It's looking like 3 Sticky Flames. No, 4. Alright. Somehow, he stopped taking damage. I don't know. More sticky flames than I expected, but alright, sure. At least Tarantellas don't have a lot of health, so Fireball does a real number on them. Wolf spiders, though, man. Okay, I mean, it's still precarious. But we're making progress, and that's what you got to do as a Felid, is just accept that you're going to make slow progress by making use of your retreat ability that you get from your excess speed. Because you have to retreat a lot. You just don't have the defenses to survive without ever retreating. So you spend a lot of time running away, but as long as you're patient, you can still you can clear things pretty safely. I don't know. I say that, but like some of the fights I've been in recently have not been at all safe, honestly. So I need to be a bit of a better cat player. Yeah, I'm trying not to use any loud spells right now. Where the heck did he go? Northeast? Northwest, I mean. Just get adjacent to me and we can finish this off, sir. Anyway, there's a lot of spiders left on this level, and I don't want to like hurl a fireball at this guy and attract them all. When Sticky Flame plus Careful Kiting will take care of it. You know what? Let's just Redback Poison is pretty dangerous. I think I'll use a fireball here. Just, I don't want Tarantellas to get a shot at me, basically. And it attracts some monsters into that area, but I don't have to stay in that area, so that's fine, really. We'll just keep resting, let this Redback forget all about us. Hey, he's gonna run around! What an idiot! We're gonna come up this way now. How do you like that, Mr. Redback? Do you have arrows? Redbacks don't carry arrows in real life, I don't think. Ooh, I don't like that miscast very much at all. Right, we're running to the stairs here, so we can take just the wolf spider upstairs. By himself, he's enough of a threat. And then we can come back down and deal with the other spiders. Tarantella and Redback, right? Right. That should be okay. But what if we took a different staircase instead? Oh, those two are not much fun. Maybe. I don't know. This one ought to be alright. Let's just blink and then fireball them. Oh, that worked better than I expected, really. So that's, I don't know. This is sort of what is, oops, Sticky Flame, please. In Spider, you have to be sure not to get surrounded. No, stop eating. Getting surrounded is how you get killed in Spider. And for a particularly weak character, surrounded can mean just fighting 2 spiders at once. You know, for most characters, 2 is fine, but like 8 is a big deal. But we are not exactly a sturdy character here. Yeah, Bolt of Fire is fine, I guess. I need to get to the stairs. This is too many monsters. We'll finish off this jumping spider since it's easy. And when the Redback catches up, we'll Sticky Flame him. But I don't know, I think most monsters in here, oh, I'm glad we got away from him in time. Most monsters in here are not too big a deal to just, like, because Sticky Flame is so good against spiders, right? I saw a wolf spider a minute ago, but I did say my character saw the wolf spider. I didn't see him. Ooh, well, we already have Blink, but I wouldn't say no to repel missiles. It's at 12%, which is not amazing, but it's fine. Because for repel missiles, what matters more is the spell power. And it's, of course, quite poor, but better than not having it. Still no other books we wanted, right? No, spells, I should say. We don't really want any of that. Slow is a decent, okay spell if you're, like, hexing things but not stabbing them. And, oh my gosh, this is the worst staircase vault in the world. Especially since webs, well, so webs you can no longer break by struggling against them. Which, there were good reasons for that change, and I think it is a good change. It makes vaults like that one more difficult, but not necessarily worse. From the point of view of a player, it's like that's a vault you are less likely to want to see because it's more dangerous now than it was before. But it's also like more interesting and more fun. So before, like, you would see that vault and you'd say, okay, well, if I want to use those stairs, I have to wander around like an idiot falling into webs so I can rip them apart for a while until it was finally torn apart enough to be safe feeling for you. And that's just like not a fun thing to do. So the game doesn't want to make you do unfun things, so it tries not to encourage them by making them good for you. It's a thing that, like, Crawl generally tries to do, is not make it a good idea to do things that are tedious, no-brainer, stuff like that. Oh, that's right. Emperor Scorpion, we can just Sticky Flame Kite forever. It'll take a while, but we've got a while, so... Oh my gosh, Sticky Flame got into lightly wounded. The Moth of Wrath, probably not an issue, but I'm gonna look for a staircase. There's two up there and one over here. I guess we'll head for north. We just have to not let the Moth of... Oh my word. I didn't think about that possibility. Alright, let's teleport now. And blink. We cannot be standing next to a Berserk Emperor Scorpion ever. Okay, fine. We ended up actually getting pretty close to the stairs up here, but I think we still should have teleported. Everything in this game is just so dangerous when you're a kitty cat. Well, I mean, in some ways, it's all quite safe because you can run away so well. But it means that you have to always play very carefully. Other characters, say, I don't know, like Minotaur Berserker, right? Stuff is much safer for them. But if they ever, like, super carelessly get into a situation that is dangerous, and Berserk isn't going to be enough to save them, it's a little bit hard for them to get out. Whereas, like, getting out of bad spots is sort of cat specialty, sort of. They have the ultimate escape ability, dying, which nobody else has. Like, there's no situation so bad that that it would end our game right now, and there's no other character who can say, no other race who can say that, really. It's something you want to avoid doing, but it's a big part of, like, what makes Felids any good at all, is that you can't one-shot a Felid if it's been, like, if it hasn't already been killed. Whoa. Are the wolf spiders? No, they're awake. Alright, they just don't know where we are. Let's try to keep it that way. Right, it looks like we probably isolated these first two spiders. Oh, I should have eaten that, actually. Maybe. I don't know. Piety is pretty good still. Oh, I was standing on a toadstool. I didn't even realize. This is actually a perfect little corridor shape for blink shenanigans, right? Because you can stand like right here and say there's a monster standing southeast of me. Almost every square I can blink to is away from the monster, and a substantial distance away. See? You know, we don't have controlled blink, but we can blink away from monsters if we want, usually. You know, here, I guess, actually is a better example, because here, literally everywhere we could blink to is away from the monster. Even if we don't buy a lot of distance, we do get a little. And of course, not that it matters, but blink is hungerless, so we're not even costing any silly resources like hunger. So far, Spider 3 has been fine. Very, oh boy, this area is a treat. Let's see if we can go some other direction. I don't like those webs at all. Which, by the way, since I was talking about the web change, I think that's a great example of why the web change is good. Before, that area would have been kind of tedious and annoying if you were playing well, i.e. the right thing to do would be to rip apart all the webs, and you'd be like, God, what a pain, why do I have to do this crap? And now, it's like, but it wouldn't have really mattered, right? It'd be like, oh, what an annoying area. I'll just walk through it, clear out the webs, and then treat it as normal. Now, I chose not to walk through it because all those webs made it, those permanent webs made it so dangerous, I would be unable to retreat from that area, basically. I wonder if this loops around or not. Anyways, I think it's cool. It added like some strategic depth a little bit to my decisions about where to go on this floor and how to handle the terrain here. It looks like we're going to have to go through that web area, though, if we want to finish up this floor. Is all this deep water? Yeah. So, there's, ooh, whatever's in here looks a little bit spooky. I'm kind of curious now. All right, auto travel, will you take me? First of all, let's exclude this eel just so I don't have to mess with that. And then take me to, like, here. But this shape of, like, the whole area has been twisty and turny and no big, like, areas. And here is a place that looks like it could be one big area. So I was a little worried there could be some tough stuff in here. It's not clear yet whether that's actually going to be the case. Let's try to stay somewhere where I can dodge an orb of destruction when it arrives. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to need to bolt to fire him, which I wasn't too happy about, but I was hoping to avoid spending... I was hoping to convince him to stand adjacent to me, but of course that like never happens with orb spiders, so it's a silly hope. Okay, level 17. I'm looking forward to getting to pick up some more dex, because I noticed that compared to int, my dex is quite low, and given that we are depending on dodging to keep us alive a lot of the time, I would think I would rather have more dex than more int at the moment. Okay, looks like we're going to have to go through here after all. So try... Hello? Oh my... Let me out! That's like why you don't want to get caught in a web. That took me like 8 tries or something ridiculous. More than that, right? 10? 11 maybe? 4, 8... 12 tries to get out of the web. Then the 13th actually worked. I have never seen so many unsuccessful tries to get out of a web or a net, which is the same thing. Yeah, just a little bit of judicious blinking to keep myself from being adjacent to him. Geez, 6 tries. Even that's a lot. Can you imagine if it ever took us 12 tries? That would be absurd. All these webs. That's something that, like, previously, before the web change, I never really worried about at all. Webs in Spider, like, they were sort of this rare thing that... Oh, I landed in a web. Yeah, there are webs, and sometimes you'll step on them, but, like, you just sort of accept it as the price of doing business because you can't really see when there's a web. Because either you can see the web and avoid it, or you can't see the web and, like, you can't really prepare for it. Now, there's, like, webs that you can see but not avoid, which I think adds a lot of interesting depth to the terrain that wasn't here before in Spider. Oh, hello. This is a new unique that I have not encountered yet. Bai Sujen. She is a draconian of some description, and she summons hydras and does other nasty stuff. I don't want to mess with this at all. So what is her deal? She has summon hydra, basically. And when she gets to half health, she turns into a storm dragon kind of thing. So... Ugh. Oh, Madame Whitesnake, huh? So what could we do? We could walk away. She can't blink. She and the Hydra are slower than I am, so I can just get away. That's pretty promising, but let's see if there's something better I should do. I mean, I could try to go nuts with, like, hasting and fireball, because she isn't resistant to fire, so... You know, I could haste walk away, lob a few fireballs, see what happens. But there's not really any compelling reason to do so. She's not blocking anything important. We've explored most of the floor. I'm a little curious about this gigantic empty region, though. We've explored all the walls around it, I believe. I suppose it could be possible that this would snake around like this and then come in here, but I doubt it. This looks just like a huge empty region for some reason. So anyway, I think that she's not blocking anything important, and we have an easy escape route, so we don't even need to think about how we ought to fight her. That said, since I happen to be in a safe position right now, I'm going to see how Bolt of Fire does. See how much damage it is. Very, very little. And a Fireball? She appears completely unfazed. Alright, let's go. So that's why running away was the thing to do. There's actually a staircase we haven't explored on this floor, is that right? Oh yeah, that one. I think we can just fireball this guy a couple times. Where'd you go? Well, alright. Yikes! Blink is not helping much. All these webs, what have I done? Alright, let's Sticky Flame. Sticky Flame. Bolt of Fire on this one. Down they go. Cool. I think, my opinion, is that passing a turn or resting inside of a web should have the effect of struggling to detach yourself. There's no reason that I would ever be in a web and say, nah, I'd rather stay stuck. I might change that at some point, see how that works. But okay, do we want to go back here? Yeah, it seemed fine. And fireball this. I heard a hiss. Let's go upstairs and rest. There's still a lot of floor left. Or at least some. That Baisugen was in the sense... Oh, really? New kind of potion. What's left? Probably Ambrosia, maybe Haste. Mods of Wrath do not get any kind of courtesy from me. They are to be killed on sight. Alright, here's another staircase. This is just working around a super long path. And we will just do what we always do against Emperor Scorpions. And make sure to try to remember to avoid webs. That's the main thing, fighting these guys. Actually, they can get stuck in webs too, which is nice. Unlike all the spiders in here. So just walk away carefully and avoid webs and sticky flame when that would be appropriate. I could make some mushrooms, but I think we're working on piety to get like reproduction mostly. The mushrooms are sort of tapering off, at least in Spider. Oh, I think best let sleeping dogs lie here. We don't have electricity resistance. So I think that'll do it for Spider 3. We explored as far as we can in this direction, and it's getting ready to twist back in, like in a very long, winding route back over here to where we found Baisugen. There might even be more in this vacant space, but basically, in this direction, there's a spark wasp in the way that I don't want to wake up by any means. And it wouldn't explore that much extra space. Now, something I could try, I suppose. Oh, I have a scroll of identify. Let's identify that potion. Or maybe a wand of digging. I think I'll take the wand of digging. Because something I could do is this. Really? I was sure that this would loop back on Baisugen's place. We could even, I suppose, just do this. Wow, okay, so A, she's still here. And B, there's a million spiders. So this was a terrible plan. I was sure she would be closer to the stairs where we left her. This was the, worst thing I could have done. Fortunately, only that one redback actually noticed my intrusion. Oh, boy. Okay, so a little bit of a quickish episode, but not outrageously short. We finished half of Spider, so in the next episode, maybe we'll tackle Spider, and maybe we'll go back to Shoals. Probably Spider, though. But nothing special to say. End of episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.